Well, tonight we are in Qatar for round 10 of the championship. And yeah, season 6 is it's slowly coming at us, but it felt quite quick at the same time. Alongside me tonight is Ryan. How are you, mate? I will include audio. Yeah, yeah, there you go. I quit that on the other one. There you go.
All right, well, there we go. Let me see. Can stream hear me? Everyone hear me? All right, yes.
I'll. There you
Yes,
go.
they can hear me. Yeah, I'm doing great. Thank you for having me. This shall be interesting with Qatar. There's a lot of interesting things to focus on at the circuit. You have the possibility of a two-stop if you're pretty bad at tire wear. You also have a lot of places where you can end up exceeding track limits. And not many slow speed corners around the circuit. Really, you only have about one or two very slow speed corners, very high speed sections of the racetrack. And yeah, we're just off of 1 week off of the controversy that was surrounding Billy and Chaz last week that was not really good for the league, but it's interesting to see because of a championship battle between Billy and Callum. Will those guys race one another differently, with that being said?
Yeah, I think there's a bit more tension in the title fight. Let's say that, and it's the McLaren team principle. I've been saying all week, just keep your head up and get to work, and just we'll see how we go. And if it doesn't work, then I mean we know where those points have been lost. But if it does go our way, then I'm pretty sure Cal will have a lot to say.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I think yeah, sorry to cut out. I was just gonna say I think the interesting thing as well is that there's a lot of people, not just people behind the admin team specifically, but a lot of people feeling like Billy, the championship leader, may be too fast for the tier. Well, you mentioned and Yander mentioned to me the rules with moving people up. It cannot happen after round 6. So Billy has definitely found a lot of pace, and it's worked out even in the tier 2 race last week at Texas. He was able to get a podium result. So, I mean, the controversy doesn't just go based on last week. It goes on a complexion of weeks prior where people may have felt like he's become too fast for this tier. Um, so if you're going to try to beat Billy, you're going to have to try to go with a different strategy around the circuit or do something that he doesn't do. That's going to be the name of the game. Logic, we're starting laps here in qualifying, and we're going to have to watch here who invalidates, who doesn't, and who's able to get this right, because this circuit, we're going to see a lot of track limit penalties, especially considering this is tier 3 of BRL.
Zach B is the first man on a lap, but we got Callum behind. Coming through one of the easiest places to invalidate your lap, and through that little hairpin down into the next right-hander. You can try and run as wide as you can, use as much track on that outside, and then cut in early and take as much curve on the inside to drift out wide again. Touch the apex curve, and then run or try and run as wide as you can without invalidating. But as long as you've got enough speed to go through there, then you can gain some big time. I find that this track, like going wide, is always a way to gain time. It's better than others because you can always take different lines as it's new. People may not have driven it as much as others because lack of experience on the game and stuff like that. But yeah, we'll see. Zach go up to line 22.9, Callum up to line 21.9, whole second clear.
Yeah, and we're gonna have two more clock in times here. It's both Mercedes. First will be Tiendello. He
He's
invalidated
invalid.
though, so he'll have to go again. Yeah, and then it'll be
Be
Billy.
Billy.
Billy will come across the line. You mentioned going wide like that. That's the thing about this track. There's a few corners where you can arc the corner, go a little bit wide on entry, and then get a good exit coming out. And Billy is 3/10 clear of the pack ahead of his championship rival Callum. So this fight is going to start at the very start of qualifying all the way to the end of it, from what it seems like. We have a Ferrari out at inners, I think, just testing us up. And we also have Fire King, GSR Thrasher's teammate, for tonight's event, making his Bozzy Racing League debut. I'm aware of these two Americans. They have
Ooh.
quite the history of wanting to beat one another and the competitiveness surrounding them both. So we're gonna probably see that between them two again. A 13 car race for this event, Lojovic. So not as much to talk about, but that kind of helps us talk about things we usually don't talk about as well.
Yeah, I think tonight as well, crashes will be shouldn't be as frequent because the walls are so far away. You should see more clean racing as well. People need to like go off track and keep themselves clean. Just do it. Get your pens removed after the race, vice versa. But yeah, Fire King has invalidated what was an outlap. So yeah.
Well, see, you mentioned track limits. Another thing that drivers will have to watch out is fuel. If they don't get a safety car, there's going to be a lot of them at risk of running out of fuel because they will try to underfuel a little bit. This is the one circuit that it is so tricky when it comes to fuel. Even if you don't underfuel sometimes, a 29-lap race around here, getting it home safely and not running out of fuel can be a tough task for these drivers. We have 3 who've done laps. The one who is currently on a lap is on intermediate tires, so we'll ignore that for right now because he's just testing his setup and making sure everything is right and just probably getting a little bit used to the circuit as well. Snipes invalidated his out lap, but he'll be the first one to start a lap. He'll probably slow down and then get it all worked up here since he just invalidated. See, the interesting thing about this, though, in starting a hot lap, Logan, is you can either go really slow like Snipes did into the last corner and kind of get it worked up. But see, when you do that, you're going to hurt your traction on corner exit because you put all that pressure slowing down to the last corner and then getting ramped back up. If you're ramped back up into the last corner, but you slow down in the penultimate corner to kind of get, ramped up, you'll do okay and not hold under pressure likely. So as he started this lap, you saw, you see what that did though, turn 2, where he was putting himself under a lot of pressure based on the way he started that lap. He slowed down and then sped back up. That can cost a driver, and it can be in your head sometimes that you're trying to maximize everything out of the lap, and then it comes crashing down when you go just a little bit off track. That's not going to be our first and last deletion though, Logan.
Yeah, he's got 7.1 laps of fuel in the car, so he is prepared to go and do another. Another thing about this track is it eats your tyres away. So yeah, I'm echoing what you said at the start. Tyres, I'm not expecting to see any soft runners, and if I am, they'll last for like 5 laps at the start of the race. And another one with Snipes' start to the lap. Not only did he slow down, but he also hampered his momentum starting the lap. Means they didn't carry much speed into that last corner, and probably meant that he couldn't reach the speed that others might who go full beams.
Yeah, we've got Sam L on a lap. I don't know if you switched to him in the meantime. I know you're on board with Snipes right now, but Sam L went purple in Sector 1. I don't know how accurate that is based on the game. You know how tricky that can be, telling whether or not it's accurate. But he set a 54-0 here in the second sector. And as you see him going through the triple right here, it's not like Texas' triple right, Logan, but it's so tricky through these 3 sections of corners and then going to a left right here because that left, you usually will slide the rears sometimes into if you push it too hard on a qualifying lap. And those 3 rights, the third one is the one that you're going to look to downshift in quite a bit and let off most. Here he comes across the line, DRS applied, and already the ERS wasted.
Good luck.
He's a 10th off Billy though, so either we have a lot of track evolution or he's right close to Billy here tonight. Drifting's also coming across and he's going to slot in 3rd place as well. That's not bad from the Alfa Romeo driver.
No practice for drifting as well. He's I raced with him on Thursday. Oh, his wheel.
Yeah, I would have thought he was getting out of the way of the Mercedes, but he was a little bit
That was his
dramatic.
wheel. Looked like it was getting disconnected.
No, I know. It didn't look like it was his wheel, but I was saying that when he went off there at turn 1, he did have Billy behind him. You might have thought Billy was on a lap, but he was just coming out of the pit lane now, so yeah, that was very odd there. We got a few others on laps as well if you want to change to that. I think you're on Dello now, right? Or Fire King?
Yeah, Dello or Fire King. Oh, Dello's invalid, so we'll go to Fire King. We'll keep an eye on Last Gamer as well. And also Barston. I think Barston's at the last corner. Yep, he is. Right, we'll go with him up to the line then. It's not gonna be very good up the line. It will be dead last, but I'm assuming he's probably made a couple of mistakes.
But I think the good thing, Logan, is that he's got a lap while others don't, because some of these guys who are currently in the pit lane, like Dello, like Jakey Boy, also Apara, they don't have laps on the board right now. And if they keep invalidating or just having issues in this session, I mean, even though the Haas right now on that lap is not as fast, he might be okay in terms of where he's at right now for maybe just barely being outside the top 10. I see you running aboard at Fire King. Here he comes to the last two corners. He didn't shift down there to 7th, or sorry, 6th from 7th. I'm a bit surprised about that. But here he comes. DRS will be applied out of the final corner. And his first ever lap in Bozzy Racing League will be complete. It will be valid. And it's got no battery left either. Yeah,
22.8.
Yeah.
Yeah, drifting on no practice third. So that's good from him. I think turn 1 will mean a lot for the drivers, as track position isn't only important because it's like a extremely wide version of Monaco. There's not many passing opportunities, and when you try and pass, it hurts your tires. So
yeah,
I mean,
I don't know about Monaco being the right track. I think Hungary is the better track to kind of describe it as, just because the only difference with Hungary and Qatar here, Logan, is that there's a lot of room off track, whereas Hungary there's not. But it does feel like Hungary, just with a lot of high-speed corners. And Monaco, it feels like you can't even pass at all. The thing with here is, although it can be tricky to pass, you'll either have a closed-up DRS train with the whole field where there's barely any passing, or you'll have simply areas like turn 1 and 2 where once you get side by side there or stay side by side, you're gonna have to give each other a lot of room, kind of like Hungary or kind of like Monaco, as you were saying. Monaco is a bit tight. It's not too tight around here like Monaco, but it is similar to Hungary with you gotta have a lot of leverage giving these guys space, though. It's gonna be tricky. 6 minutes left, by the way.
Yeah, just stayed on with Thrasher. You got Zach starting a lap. His first lap wasn't very good, representative from him, considering he's had a couple of podiums this season, and he's not been at his best, but he's definitely getting back to how he was when he won the championship in the first Tier 3 season. So he's on his way back. Definitely one to watch for next season, but again, next season is a new game. So yeah.
Not only will it be a new game, but also some new features. We learned earlier this week that France will no longer be in the game, so we can't put that on the calendar if we like. We also learned, oh, you like that? I don't. Well, I'll tell you this though. We also have DRS going to be enabled a lap earlier on safety car restarts and the start of the race. So yeah, a lot of things that will change for people, and for our tier 1 drivers as well. Something to focus on for those who run new ABS is that it will hinder you if you continue to lock up a lot, because you will waste a lot of tire wear. You've mentioned about Zach coming back up through the ranks of BRL and gaining some pace. Well, he's gained 6/10 on his previous best lap. He might have a chance to go in and do one more after this, but here he comes across the line this time. DRS applied.
Yeah, up to the line comes Zach. He goes second. Ooh. Good lap. I think
he improved by 5/10 in the last sector. Sorry to cut you off, Logan, but that's massive.
Yeah, good lap from Zach. Definitely, the track evolution is definitely kicking in. I don't think Zach will get another lap in because he is about to drop into low fuel mode. So if he can get back, then it'll be a miracle for him.
Yeah, it's gonna really depend on if his teammate comes out in time not to hold him up either. I don't know if you're watching TN Dila, but we are both watching him, actually. I see now. He just went purple to the second sector, and for Mercedes, it would be great if they can have a front row lockout. The question is now, as he went purple in the second sector, what order will it be? And he's ran out of battery coming to the line, and he's not even gone below 10%. But this should be a halfway decent lap. Not the fastest, but 6th fastest, though. He's gonna have to go to the pit lane ASAP in order to get another lap in on new tires. Yeah. I don't know if he'll have enough time to do it.
If he can try and get back in, it will be crucial for him and the Mercedes team to get in front of Callum and hinder Callum. Will he? Probably not. The gap's 4/10, and considering he's done a lap, which the track will be pretty similar for. I don't think he'll be finding 4/10 unless he takes every corner perfectly.
Well, we're about to have a lap with Fire King here, and this is before the calm before the storm, Logan. How about we cover a lap fully of the circuit and tell the viewers, the 7 of them watching, who can give their pole prediction now if they'd like, whether it's the lap time or the driver that gets it. How about we give them a little bit of track description here? Turn 1, I'll give it to you once we get to about sector 2 or so. Turn 1, multiple different lines you can take to find time. You should be in about 5th or 4th gear here. But Fire King coming through, could have used a little bit more curbing. Now turn 3, this is going to be tricky. You got to get it down to single file when you're racing and battling other drivers around here. And then the double right here, this is such a tricky corner. A lot of invalidations happen. And then probably the slowest section of the track right here. Now sector 2. He's barely up, Logan, but he can probably get 1 place on our grid up.
Yeah, and this would be a good lap from Fire King. He gained just a little bit in that first sector, but again, different lines he will probably take, and it will find him time. We're coming up to the second sector split. Now he's 2.5 tenths up, coming through the triple right-handers. Also a different line taken. So I've seen some take that flat out. Now through here, I've seen people commit flat out there as well, but he decided to take it caution, yeah. And now up to the line. Just a little bit of ERS left, and we will cross the line with Fire King, and he will stay 7th, but improves by 4/10.
Alright, so everybody's out on track except for Billy's teammate in the Mercedes. It should be all of them getting a last lap in just in time. Tiendilo is not going out. We do have 3 people currently on laps. You're looking at the Haas driver, who is slowest of the guys on the lap times currently. A 10th up in sector 1, riding just on the edge of the curbs in the end of sector 2, and now he's improving by 2/10. So if he can find a lot of time in this last sector, he might not be last on our grid once everyone gets in some laps. But we have 3 guys who haven't gotten laps here in this session so far, 11th through 13th. And the critical thing for them is not invalidating, or else they're going to have a really low spot on the grid. Now to the final corner, he uses 4th gear right here. And DRS will be applied. Will he run out of battery before the line? We saw Fire King didn't. Maybe this will help in terms of not losing a 10th or 2. And he did gain a 10th there at the end. We got Zach B starting a lap behind that. And Billy also on a lap too, our pole sitter. 33 seconds remaining in this qualifying session. Looks like everybody shall make the flag.
Yeah, apart from Dello, Dello might. Oh no, definitely not. I think he's been told to come back out to give Billy a slipstream.
Yeah, that's probably what he did, because he will not make the flag.
Oh, Callum's invalid.
Yeah, that is not good for the man second in the championship. Zach B is improving in the second sector. Billy is improving as well, but only marginally, Logan. Checkered flag is out. Our first car across the line will be an AlphaTauri. That is Fire King. Does not improve.
Yeah, so we'll focus on Billy, the first of the front runners, apart from Sam, who doesn't improve, to cross the line around this final corner. He's not going to run as wide. He's obviously being precautionate that he doesn't invalidate. Up to the line comes Billy H07, and he improves to a 1:21.5, which was the time I predicted for pole. Zach B is just a little bit down on his time. He's going to need a big last corner here, but he's going to run out of battery, it looks like. Is it going to be enough for Zach to take pole away from Billy? No, it's not.
Almost improved there. Para comes across the line to make it a Aston Martin second row.
Yeah, Aston Martin second row. Navek will be pleased.
Oh, Snipes invalidated. He was 5/10 up right there, and he would have gone 7/10 better than what he had. That's unfortunate for Snipes. Your qualifying session here in Qatar is over, and Billy out in front again, but not by quite a bit. He's still got 3 guys right behind him. 2 from the same team, 1 from Williams. All still quite close to him. Not that far away.
Yeah, and Zach's a driver that will never back down and never give up. Anyway, he will lunge it wherever he needs to. He's quite aggressive. But, I mean,
Well,
at the end of the day, game's the game.
yeah, that's true. Billy, Zach B, Sam L, Apara, Drifting, that's your top 5. You saw GSR Thrasher run a lap on mediums there. I just want to go over the standings quickly, Logan, before we welcome Yonder in for the race. 16 points the gap for Billy and Callum. Billy is in front of Callum, and then Drifting is 61 points back. Pretty much needs quite a miracle in order to have a chance after today, considering there's only 2 races remaining. But
Yeah.
there's quite the fight, though, in the constructors, though. This is big for Mercedes with the pole position because McLaren lead, but only by 4 points. And then everyone else behind that doesn't really have as much of a chance. Williams and Alfa Romeo, they're the closest ones to Mercedes and McLaren, but they need a disaster to happen to McLaren or Mercedes in order to really do something about this. While you guys end up loading in now to the session, I am going to, or loading into the race here. While everyone adjusts fuel, I'm going to send you both the strategy for this race and give you guys a little bit of insight on that.
Well,
Welcome, by the way, Yonder.
Yeah, welcome, Yonder.
Thank you for the welcome.
Good to have you finally.
Sadly,
Excited.
you're here, but I mean, not the end of the world.
I mean, I could go help Zachy B, coach him, engineer him to the win here. Yeah, exactly, my boy.
Oh, the race
nah.
preps. Ah, yeah.
Decided to stick with you guys. And
Very nice of you.
hopefully take everyone away with it.
Anyway, then, to 5 red lights for the Qatar Grand Prix in BRL Season 6. It's lights out and away we go. And Billy leads down into turn 1 from Zach and the Aston Martin's holding formation for now. Sam goes up the inside. There is a... Wow. Ferrari dead at the back. Zach takes the lead, turns in on Billy. It's all carnage. A little bit of contact again, but the Aston stay put. Zach looking for the move on Billy again down the inside and takes the lead again for the second time in the first lap. There's been changes for the lead, but crucially for Billy as well. Oh, Billy goes to the inside. Oh, and there's a collision by both Aston Martins. Goes down the order goes Sam. Big for Callum though. He didn't actually gain a position, but he's on the hard compound. Same with Billy and Zach, who are still fighting. Billy about to maybe get switched back by Zach, but this is
Yeah, at the back there, Logan, when they collided with the Ferrari, it was nearly 4 wide, and it was the Ferrari and the AlphaTauri. I'm not sure which AlphaTauri it was, but they made contact. I'm gonna guess it was GSR Thrasher because he was back to 11th, but Zach B and Billy, very critical there in the opening lap. Zach B using a lot of that battery. Billy was not, and that was, you're right about that. That was a teammate collision at Aston Martin. It looked like the contact model being an issue for those drivers again. And here we go for the lead.
Yeah, for the lead again. The Williams pulls back to the inside of turn 1 and looks to take the lead from Billy. More contact up the inside, looking for a move. Goes a para. Billy sticks his nose up the inside. Zach tries to stick it around the outside, but he can't. Billy runs wide. Fire King also gets a pen. And that is a change of position between the McLarens at the back as well. And I don't know whether Snipes is going to try and get himself up the order and drag Callum with him. But Callum is losing position after position after position.
I don't know what's happening to him. He's lost 3 places now.
Oh, he's got damage. Oh, Zach is in the wall.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That is
like
so
that.
big for this race. And Callum does have front wing damage. He'll have to change that at some point.
Front wing damage for Callum. And that...
Don't know what happened for them, but now there's a change in second place.
Oh,
I'm
it's a
sorry
1-2 at Mercedes as well. Wow. That this race has changed so quickly.
Yonder, I don't know if you were able to catch what happened there at the front of the field, but was Billy and Zach close? Because Zach B spun with a para, and now we have a 2-second gap for first and second.
Yeah, so I was on board with Zach Barnes when he just lit up the Riz too early and just spiked it all by himself. No contact from anyone else.
Okay.
Shame to see.
So, I guess Apara was trying to avoid then.
Look at the
Yeah,
pit stops. Lap 2. And we got
5 people.
5 people at the 13. and Callum's got no front wing now, so he's had more contact. And now he's putting himself onto the medium compound and will go on a 2-stop to the end of the race, probably medium.
5 front wing changes during that sequence of pit stops. That is absolutely insane. Oh, and by the way, guys, DRS is activated, so this should be fun for those guys coming out of the pit lane who look to be in a DRS battle here quite soon.
Yeah. For them, if there is a safety car and it neutralises the pack, crucially they will have better tyres, but their tyres will probably be equal to a hard when they come into the road, because they don't come into the road straight away.
Well, I'll tell you right now, Zach B, who got in that collision with Apara, not happy, and Apara is going for the move on the Haas driver here at the triple right. He made the Haas driver make a mistake by going down his inside right there, and he needs to get by, Apara does here, because he's losing a lot of time by trying to send it up the inside and not actually making the move. Logan, if you can, it'd be great if you can turn on the tires for our lovely 8 viewers we have.
Will do.
Because some guys who pit went onto hards, some went onto mediums, and if you can switch to 5th place, we're about to see an overtake. Is Apara going to go for it? Yes, he is. Late on the brakes. He's through. Finally on the Haas driver. He was losing too much time being stuck behind him, and it was really silly. Just trying to act like he was going to go down the inside there at the triple rights, and then never did. Yonder, we have 3 drivers in the penalty club. This is quite critical if they want to try to get some more positions in this race.
Yeah. I've got to say, I was looking at the race director at the end of lap 1, and I saw Fire King already had 3 warnings, obviously leading to a 3-second time penalty, so maybe a long race for him. But yeah, I'm sure we're going to see plenty of penalties across the race.
Will we
Callum got Sam, by the way. Sorry, Logan. I was just going to say, Callum got Sam. Very critical for his championship points.
Yeah. Will we see Navek level pens tonight?
God.
Will we see a disqualification?
Well, I did compete in a Tier 2 race last week, if you remember, with you two. And I saw that he had 12 seconds up in front of me, but considering I stayed out in old, worn-out tires, there was no chance I was getting him. But it would have been nice, though, because he had 12 seconds and I only had the 3, so... Yeah, even this track can probably see 12 seconds. Only those guys who have penalties, though, have 3 seconds only to their name. 3 different battles, Logan, that we have right now. Which one sparks your eye?
The closest one will be between Callum and Sam, but I'm just looking at Thrasher, because Thrasher probably has a nosebleed because he's that high. So
He definitely would be shocked about that, you're right. DRS on the main straight, by the way, for 2 of these guys. We got
there we go.
Drifting and Jakey, who just had the fastest lap, and then Sam and Callum. Those are your 2 swaps.
Oh, contact!
Yeah, I was gonna say, looked like Jakey was trying to clear Drifting by turn 1, but he just couldn't do it, and yeah, Sam is clear of Callum now.
Billy's gap isn't gaining, but it's not losing either. It's staying between 3 seconds and 2.8 seconds a lap. So the mediums aren't dropping off yet, but they're sure the gap has got to the highest it's got now, 3.1. So if Snipes is going to want to do his teammate any favours, he's going to need to clear Dello ASAP. Yellow flag at the back. That is
Fire King is round.
I think he just got away with getting damaged, but those tires are going to be ruined, though, because he's got gravel all over them.
Yeah. Not the best debut for him, but hopefully he can come back stronger next week at Saudi Arabia. That one's going to be a...
Got all night races to end the season, too. Abu Dhabi after that.
Decided to have a Saudi takeover.
Saudi's going to be an absolute mess for these Tier 3 drivers. I know I've had to steward quite a bit on them last season, but I wouldn't want to be a steward for Saudi if I'm being honest with you. Drifting is in DRS of Jakey Boy. You had another fastest lap, but is he going to try to go for the send at turn 1? Yeah, no, that would be really silly from that far back. And Sam Ellis says, well, it's not your fastest lap any longer. Oh, yeah, you're right. Turn 2 here might be an overtaken spot for Drifting, but it isn't.
I thought there would be a commit from drifting to go to the inside, but chose not to stick his nose in.
But
Would
see,
have been an
when
audacious one.
drifting does get past Jakey Boy here, the interesting thing is that once Barson and Zach B pit, he should be ahead of them because the pit stop loss run here is 24 seconds at the circuit. Yonder will tell you with it being 24 seconds and, you know, you being one of the more experienced drivers in this league with having to fight against pit stops and whatnot. What is that like if you're a driver in drifting situation where you're gonna sit here and be like, well, I know I can get these guys once they pit, but I just got to get by the car in front first in order to be through on Barson and Zach B once they pit. What are you thinking if you're a driver here?
Well, I think in his position, like with Qatar being so harsh on the tyres, I don't think for him, without a safety car, his focus won't be on anyone in the top 7. Maybe Barson, purely because the pace isn't really showing for him today. But I think the best he could probably do is P8. But with the pit stops now not looking favourable for him, so we'll just have to see what pans out. Jakey Boy's tyres will go in a couple laps time. Obviously, the tyre difference being drifting on the hards can run longer than the mediums that Jakey Boy have on. But for him, he'll just be probably trying to potentially save some battery.
Oh,
Yeah, we
here's
have a
Callum
battle.
to the
Yep,
inside.
that happened on the main straight first. Now it's continued on to here, Logan. And also there's an overtake between GSR Thrasher and Para. Thrasher's
Yeah.
soft tires are dying.
I was on board with that one while Yonder was
I saw that, yeah.
talking, and you don't see moves there every day, but if you fancy being a bit confident in yourself, then why not?
I do want to note something before we get any overtakes happening one more time. No one's severely underfueled. Well, as for penalties, well, that's the Ferrari driver getting another one. But yeah, no one's severely underfueled. So if anyone underfueled, it was only by a little bit. We've got a move now. Hold on. Burger King around the outside is about to get squeezed here. Logan, you're gonna have to switch to this. He's gonna go on the inside now for the second right, and by the third right, they make contact.
Confidence in the tyre for Fire King, looking to possibly chase his teammate GSR Thrasher.
Callum again. At turn 2 now is going to have the inside line. This guy doesn't want to give up. You spoke about Billy not wanting to give up. Well, Callum had a lot of damage earlier on that he had to pit for. And he's got to get by Sam crucially here.
Oh, can't get it done there. Might look to get the move done at the hairpin. No, he won't. Fire King did get past Lazaro Gamer 06, so yeah.
Yeah,
that one's done.
Yonder, you know, you're part of this McLaren team, and so are you, Logan. If you're Callum and you can't get by Sam, when does the desperation kick in and you sit here as a driver and want to maybe go for a late lunge or ascend? Where would you do it?
I can tell you for a fact it's already kicked in. But the gap is opening between the two cars ahead and Jakey and drifting. So, yeah, desperation is probably at maximum right now for Callum. But I do want to note as well, Jakey Boy, who is first of the people that have had to pit, whether that's damage or whatnot, he is catching Billy by about a second a lap. So it may be close when they come out of the pits, but that gap's going to have to come down a lot more.
Thing is, though, when that gap stops dropping off, Jakey's tyres are 2 laps younger. But when Billy's tyres start to drop off, Jakey's will be dead.
Logan. Go to drifting and Jakey. This is about to be a collision if they keep banging off each other or coming close to it. Lazar Gamer has sped on the pit lane, but drifting can't get through there on Jakey. He was trying around the outside of turn 2 and turn 1, and I know you were riding on board with Callum and Sam L while they were battling. They're still not done either, and finally Callum's through. But you guys mentioned the thing with them catching on tires, but the thing is, though, is they're going to have the disadvantage when it comes to later on, though. These guys are either going for a 2-stop, or the ones on hards will probably go for that 1-stop. And if they're able to somehow make it to the end, though, their tires are going to be cooked, and they'll be overtaken. They'll have the track position, but You guys mentioned it being hard to overtake around here. I don't think it'll be too hard if you're on that big a difference in tires,
Oh,
though.
Jakey's gone. Oh, I'm just having lag issues right now on my end. Saw Jakey boy nearly crash into the wall.
Oh, well. Drifting
Interesting
drops
thing
out
was
of the RS.
Yep, you noticed that right as I did. That was very critical.
Yeah.
I don't think Sam
ERS
L's
as
done with
well.
Callum, by the way. I don't think he's done.
Second bite of the cherry, obviously, for Sam. Callum might want to cover the inside. Chooses an opt for the racing line on the outside, but that's not how you really see overtakes at turn 1. And they're made on the inside. But the gap did come down that lap. So, yeah. There was a gap of, I believe it was 2.4 seconds gone down by 7/10. And it's still going down. These two, Drifter might have lost his head here.
Fourth driver to pick up a penalty is GSR Thrasher. You guys at McLaren yonder in Longebeck, I don't think you'll be liking to hear this. Mercedes will overtake McLaren and the constructors if things stand the way they are right now, and they'll be overtaking them by a good 35 or so points, which is really not good. McLaren only having one car in the points, while Mercedes are 1-2.
Ooh, Cal goes off again. Tyres are starting to fall off for him. Delo's tyres are gone 100%. The gap's 5.3
Pressure
seconds.
is in.
The way it's going, Billy will win the championship next week.
Yep, Yonder said it before I could. GSR Thrasher in on those softs. I'm gonna guess he's gonna
And
go to
Barcy.
hards here. Yep, Barson as well. A bit early for the mediums, but we'll
He's
see what
already
he
pit.
does then.
He's already pit as well.
Oh,
This
that's
is
true.
second
Yeah,
stop.
but still early.
I know.
I do want to point out, I've been looking through the fuel for the drivers, and I believe Thrasher only has 0.5 over.
Billy's
and knowing
only
how
over
bad
fuel.
Qatar is on fuel.
Billy, or
Yeah.
but he's got plus 1.4 laps. That won't be
That's
enough
not
to
going
go
to
to
make
the end.
it.
That's not going to make it. Delo will not make it. Snipes will not make it. Apara will make it.
Tier 2 Netherlands all over again.
Yeah, they have to have a safety car here, or if you're Billy and you have that comfortable lead, you can coast into some of these corners. By the way,
Zach-
Logan, we missed Sam L and Callum, and now we have Barson and Fire King. It's not too close between them. It was at turn 4 right there, though.
Right, let's have a look. Fire King doesn't look like he'll make it to the end either. Nor Boston.
Oh,
Um,
slide there.
oh,
don't know if you
last
saw it,
gamer. What the hell?
He's on 20 seconds.
Keep an eye on him, please, Yonder.
He may get disqualified.
He needs a safety car, though, if he wants to be back in this race, because he's about to be a lap down right now. Main straight, Logan. We're going to have to switch to Sam L and
Oh.
drifting here.
Fire King
Because
goes off.
Sam L... Oh, yeah, I see that off the tire there going off. Yeah, that was Fire King not having
Here
the
we
best
go,
of
to the inside.
corners.
Yellow.
That was our race leader, I think. I don't know if it was because of Lazar Gamer, but it was right where the race leader was.
No,
I
it's
don't know
Laser
if he's
Gamer.
going to lose time. Yeah, that lap car, the Ferrari getting lapped, that was him,
know.
actually. Second time. Yeah, so, sorry to cut you off. Just that Sam L drifting overtake was kind of forgotten about because of the yellow flags.
You got Salmon drifting. Sam's tyres will start to go off soon.
Oh, yeah.
Jakey's lost time to Zach.
Delo
Yeah.
is in.
Oh, good.
That'll be covering off Snipes. If Snipes comes in, Snipes opts to stay out. So that covers a Snipe strategy off to try and get an undercut if he wanted to come in early. I know he's on the hards,
Zach
but
Barnes in.
means the game.
Yeah.
Uh,
You guys mentioned when the Haas driver pitted there about a lap or two ago on 9-lap mediums. Oh, what is the Ferrari doing again? Oh, he's just going off. I don't know what kind of issues he's having. But
Major
yeah, you guys
skill.
mentioned with the medium tires there, with Delo coming in, that's about the time that the medium tires do start to wear off to where you do want to come in for hards. Zach B's going hards to mediums. Interesting.
I think they may be going for the two-stop here. I don't know. I think they've seen the tyre wear, they've seen the data, on the
Oh,
numbers, some would
the
say,
data.
and they're just
Cool.
like, yeah, nah. The significant data that they have at their disposal.
The data.
Well, interestingly though, Yonder, Zachary will have to pass Thrasher, Callum, and Drifting, and as well as Sam.
Yes, I was just gonna say it shouldn't be too hard. No disrespect to Thrasher, but I think that Barnes has established himself as a great driver in BRL, a Hall of Fame contender, some would say. However, he's not getting that role anytime soon.
Never.
Unless, I mean, fighting for P9 is really not what he wants to be doing in Tier 3. He wants to be going for bigger things.
You don't want people
Laser
fighting
game has
for-
gone off again.
for P9 in the Hall of Fame. That's not
Can't
talking
really have
about
that.
why I'm in there.
No disrespect to the Ferrari drivers having a bad day, but can we take a shot of beer once we become 21 or 18 every time that we see yellow flags now?
Maybe.
It's not going his way. It's unfortunate.
This is getting walled. This is
Well,
getting put in
main
the
straight,
wall.
Logan. You're gonna have to switch to it in just a second. I
Lucky B.
think drifting is not close enough now.
Jackie B. Oh, safety car.
Oh,
well,
my
you
God.
just knew that was gonna happen.
Oh.
So this
And
does
he's
help
retired on track
everyone
for
except
pretty much
the. This helps everyone really except for the Mercedes,
Honestly,
because
mate,
Mercedes
what
were
is the
clear.
point? Like, just retire.
He did.
Well, you're allowed to retire in the pit lane, right? I mean, there's nothing against that.
Yeah, I know.
He retired
you
on
know,
track.
I want to speak, but like, come on. You're
I just
40
think it's
seconds
ridiculous,
behind.
though, retiring on track. You can go to the pit lane, and you're lazy and not wanting to, wait another minute or two to get there. He could have easily got there. I don't know what was going on. But this changes
That's
this race,
plays-
guys. Billy's in.
That plays into the hands of the hard runners. Or, sorry,
Yeah.
the, or a bit more the medium runners and the guys on the two stops as well.
Well,
Delo's
if
been
you're Zach
screwed.
B, you'd have been hoping that safety car came a lap or two earlier.
Yeah.
Or you stayed
Zach's
out.
been screwed there. But for the likes of Thrasher, they'll go up the order again. Thrasher will make his way back up to 5th. So, the safety car's big. As,
Delo's come
like,
back in.
Come back. Oh, I don't know whether that's the correct call.
Well, if he has a fresh set of mediums, that's the tire he's going to go to.
Tell you what, very interesting right now. We have
Oh,
Nice.
Sam going
Ooh.
for a move.
Oh, wow.
in the pits.
Double stack, by the way, from both Hastings, just to make note of that. That's going to be critical.
No, they're going to be fine.
No,
I
yeah.
know they'll be fine, but Sam will lose a good 3 seconds here. Or not 3 seconds, a second here because he got held from the other S10 driver hitting just right before him. Yeah, so I was right about Delo. He did go back to mediums. Do you think that's the right call, though, Logan and Yonder? Because you guys were talking about how that's
Nope.
maybe not the best of calls.
Nope.
He
Hard
should have
call
kept
coming
track
through.
position.
Although I think less the fuel, I don't think tyres are as heavy on lower fuel, but I still think you've still got to surely give the hard a bit of time to wear in and stuff like that. Yeah, I think that's the correct call.
Well,
And I'm. Hang on.
Well, I'll tell you this. This safety car helps the fuel situation for those who are in risk massively. Easily.
Yeah. Right, I'll be back in
And,
a minute. Hold up.
yeah, that's good. I was just going to say about Delo, though, Yonder. If he can get a good restart here over Zach B, who was on mediums just 2 laps before, and Apara, who's on hards, he can still get this Mercedes 1-2 for the team. And, although he didn't have the track position that he would have had if he stayed out, he's just got to keep up the good pace that he had from the start of this race.
I mean, for me, the big battle going into this restart, I don't know how long it will last, but I know there's been a big, maybe some decisions could have been made differently, post Austin, was it last week? Yeah, post Austin. There's a bit of tensions between the McLaren drivers and the Mercedes, so maybe we'll see Snipe try and get Billy off the restart, try and fluster him, try and help Callum out a bit here, but yeah, it's really made this. Considering the amount of people who were down on fuel, I'm kind of annoyed there was a safety car.
Me
Because I would have liked to see who would have managed it. But,
I'm very
good clean racing
annoyed.
is... Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I'm very annoyed that there's a safety car in general, just because the fact that it really shouldn't have been one, and you make a very good point there, because free pit stop for Billy and Snipes right there. You know who this does help though, Yonder? You guys at McLaren, 2nd and 8th right now, comparison to Mercedes being 1st and 5th. Not only would it be big for Snipes to go challenge Billy for Callum, but it's also big for the team aspect for McLaren not to lose out on as many points as they will.
Yep. Completely correct. And, I just want to point out one driver. Zach Barnes at the start, I may have said that he lost it on his own due to skill issue, but he has informed me through some explicit content that he did not use a rear, and it was a para who may have helped him on his way.
Oh, that's crazy.
What are you oohing about?
Mr. Zachy B getting punted.
I think we need to start the chant from... Oh, never mind.
Zachy B, 1, 2, 3,
Nah.
That's it. Safety car is in at the end of this lap.
Yes.
Everybody's got a recharge battery.
Now I'm a believer.
As their situation fixed for fuel, it looks like everyone should make it.
Yeah, 2.3 laps over. That's the exciting part out the window now.
Snipes needs to get a good restart here over Billy. When does Billy go?
He needs to be there. He's gone. He held it in the same gear for too long. Billy goes, and Snipes has left himself vulnerable to the Aston Martin behind. Snipes is using, trying to bring himself as close as he can. He's left the ZRS on, so understeer will kick in. And now, because of that, here goes a power around the outside. He can't afford to fight them too much. That's the big thing. As long as he can keep Dello back, now is his priority, unless he wants to get past the power. But a power looks quite quick.
It was crucial, not dropping out DRS here, Billy. They let him get away last time. They can keep that 1 second gap, may make it more interesting.
Just gonna say, if you're a para here, you need to stay in DRS, and hopefully Snipes can pull you along. Therefore, you're not alone fighting Billy. Callum, crucially, in the penalty club.
Check Billy's race director and Snipes.
He's on 1 warning.
Alright.
By the way, at the back of the field, there was just contact with Thrasher and Barson right there. I know these guys are trying to get by the Haas driver, but they got to be careful not to do this with contact, because this can get ugly.
Yeah. Callum getting held by Sam again. Callum probably got the pen because of Sam. Right. Dello and Zach side by side. Oh, Dello has to go off the track. And now because of that Jakey boy, and now it's too wide between both Williams. And the slipstream, and probably a bit of usage from Dello. Up the inside goes the other Williams. Bit of contact from behind on the Williams of Zach from his teammate. Up the inside on the Mercedes goes Jakey boy. As around at the back goes Barston. Still side by side, but eventually Jakey boy has to let go. But he's still not really letting him go. But it looks like he kind of backed out. Down the inside, maybe? He scared them a bit. Oh, and look at that. He just stays. And Billy's also lost a power's DRS. Oh, DRS has been stripped away from a power.
DRS enabled next time by the way, and the gap between the lead is 1.1. Apara needs to crucially get in that DRS, and if he doesn't, well, Snipes needs to get in DRS of him at this point, because whichever one of them will be in front, they're going to be the closest one to Billy if anything happens. And by the way, those two AlphaTauris may have had contact with Barca with how close they were at turn 1 with them. Fire King through Thrasher.
Yeah,
Mate swap, it
Snipes
looks
gets
like,
the
as Thrasher made a
DRS.
mistake.
Oh, that gets the line of DRS. It doesn't. It's not enabled yet. If it was next year, then yeah, it would. But yeah,
Next year.
yeah, next game, next year, same thing.
Ah, you're right. My bad.
Yeah, you're bad.
You tell him.
Okay. Nice win.
I'm hard, me, aren't I?
I'll say this right now about Zach B and Jakey Boy. Zach B can really have a chance here for this podium if they fight for second on back with the Para having pressure from Snipes behind in DRS. And by the way, Jakey Boy, although he has that track limit penalty, he can definitely help his teammate get the podium. He had a lot of pace at the start of this race.
Yeah, I think everyone's kind of caught up to him a bit. Or is it because he's on the hard compound and they're all on mediums? Zach's tyres being 2 laps old and will put him at a disadvantage come about, I'd say 4-5 laps time, and all these guys' tyres are still just above 25%.
Well, I'll tell you this. If they continue to back each other up in this DRS train, and remind you, as a driver, I know this very well. I've been tapped around in a DRS train because other drivers behind, when they're following, they have to be aware that you have to back off slightly earlier than the driver in front does, and the driver in front of that, just to not hit them, because you also save ERS doing that, and you also can't brake late enough to hit people. But here are some moves being made, it looks like. Here comes Dello and Zach B. Dello gonna try the outside, long way around, maybe gonna switch this to the inside now for turn 2 and have the outside there. No, it's still single file, but I was just gonna say, the more they battle, the more Fire King and Thrasher could have caught up, but penalty for Dello. That's not good.
No, it's not. Zach staying ahead of Dello is holding him up more, as Dello might want to get the move done, but he doesn't make the move. Still stuck behind him. Snipes will be wanting to get a move on. Apara's quick, but not as quick as Billy.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll be able to get there even when Billy's tires do wear out. It will probably be a cat and mouse game in terms of DRS at the end at the very closest. But see, the thing with this DRS train though, you know, the people in the back of it drifting, Callum, they can win out big here if there's some overtakes or if everyone gets close to one another. But see, the interesting thing here is no one's really close in this DRS train besides the 2 Williams with the Mercedes in between, and Dello caught napping, passed by Jakey Boy.
Sam was having a look at the inside there as well. No then, because Zach's not got the oh no, he has, damn. He dropped out at the last corner. He is getting closer to Apara is Snipes.
Oh!
Oh!
No! The Mercedes of Dello around. He tried setting up the inside of the Williams. I know you just missed that, Logan, but that is detrimental to Mercedes in the Constructors' Championship if they want to finish in the points of both cars.
Puts Callum into 8
Yonder.
because of
Oh, Jakey Boy, another one. I was just going to ask Yonder, did you catch that as well?
Yeah, he just is too aggressive from Dello, from my point of view. Just backed out. Because
Was a little late.
realistically, yeah, because Jakey was never going to send the move on Zach, so he was always going to be a bit slower into the corner. Dello anticipated that, just too greedy on the brakes.
But see, the interesting thing is he had a little bit more ERS in the tank compared to Jakey Boy and Zach B, so if he had some patience and just waited for it, I think he would have been fine, because even if you slow down behind those 2 guys entering the corner by just a little bit, you save battery. Not just fuel, you save battery. Second place note for grabs, guys. This is going to be big for the constructors now with Mercedes having a car outside the points.
and Snipes is going to capitalise on that. Oh,
Snipes
now
has
it's
turned off
DRS.
his DRS.
It's just come up then. Oh, Snipes to the outside. Switch it back on the Aston? No.
Dello back into the points, overtaking GSR Thrasher. You have still a big battle going on behind that DRS train for second place. Well, not really DRS train for second place, just DRS train for fourth place, excuse me. That's what it is behind the front guys there, second and third. Don't get a penalty. There's only 6 of them of the 12 remaining without one.
Yeah, you've got Snipes still closing in on a power, but Billy is starting to check out. And with that,
The only thing
checking out with the
that can
championship
stop him
as
from
well.
winning, Logan, is a puncture if he's not managed his tire as well.
Doubt his tyres will
Nah, he's on
blow
pad,
up.
so he'll be fine.
No, he's not. He's
Yeah.
wheel.
Okay, he might be in danger then.
Might not be too much danger, but he'll be right on the cliff though, right at the end. Maybe not too much for a puncture. He's just got to manage his cards right. Still, I think we're going to see some moves on the DRS straight. Here we go. Sam L's using battery, and also third place is close too.
Yeah, Snipes looking to go to the outside as well. Oh, yeah, good
Oh,
on board.
down the inside.
Squeezing! Sam
Oh,
L is
yeah.
through. Apara and Snipes back at it.
Round the
Apara
outside.
back
What
in
a
the
move.
second. It's just great racing, guys. These tier 3 drivers, right now, they're elbows up, but they're keeping it clean here for the smaller field. You'd think they'd be
Oh,
more,
Snipes got 3 seconds.
oh my gosh. I was just going to say, you'd think they'd be more pushing it, but they're only pushing it on the track limits, not against each other too much.
What to say? I don't know how.
yellow
Oh,
at the back.
Fire
That's
King's
Fire
run.
King. And he's got no front wing.
Safety car?
Would only be a VSC probably, but not going to be anything.
I was just going to say, Apara's tyres should be coming back into it now, but I think he's too far back to put a challenge to Billy now.
Billy's checked out.
Yeah.
Got no ERS as well as
Oh.
collapsing.
Now only 4 drivers in this race without a penalty. Zach B's just picked up one.
Not my glorious king.
I'd have to agree.
Third time for Snipes, can he do it? Down the inside he goes, makes the move before turn 1. Good stuff there. I think he's realised now, if he's gonna get this P2, he needed to make that move.
You sound like Tiro Limitless. He needed to make that move. Well, I'll tell you
Fire
right
King's
now
in the
though,
pits.
guys. If they keep battling like this, and one of the other drivers, whether it be Apara or Sam, pick up a penalty, drifting is on for a net P4 right now and could be a net P3. But he's got to stay within 3 seconds of Snipes as well, who's leading this train. And also, in order to get a podium, we need to not get a penalty himself and have someone else pick up a track limit penalty too.
And if we're talking about that, last season Drifton was the only driver in the whole pack to not get a penalty.
Well, although he can be a bit of a terrorist, some people would say sometimes, or a bit hectic in his wheel-to-wheel battling, he's got quite the mindset in terms of track limits. And we're going to get close in this main straight once again, guys. A lot of these guys not managing their ERS well. Snipes on 35, 8% for Apara. He's using it. 12% for Jakey Boy. Zach B is into the pit lane on 11-lap mediums. Does he think they might not go to the end? This might be a concern for some of these guys who pitted for mediums. This should be interesting.
That's strange from Zach, considering that he had a safety
No,
car intervention side by side at turn 1.
Yonder, what were you going to say?
I've got to say, from doing this in previous seasons, Qatar, the mediums do feel a lot worse than hard tyres when it comes to the end of the stint. And for some reason, the tyre wear is it's like almost the same as the hard tyres. So, yeah, still really dodgy, that call from Zach Barnes, but, you know, my glorious king, he knows what he's up to. Probably just trying to prove he's the quickest driver around here. Get the fastest lap at the end.
I just want to mention, by the way, so far in this race, 1 warning on track limits for Billy. As for drifting, Drifting's only warning comes from a collision with another driver on the track. Crucially, though, he's ahead of Callum now, so this is going to get interesting here with him being on the mediums, though, and his guys up in front of that he needs to get here on the hards.
Here we go again. Turn 1. He can't get closer. Snipes needs to get this gap, but he just can't.
Callum through though again on drifting, so drifting right now he'll not be capitalizing on Snipes with those penalties that he has for track limits. The interesting thing I want to mention, by the way, you mentioned the medium and hard tires. Oh, hold on. Jakey B's riding the back of a par right here. He wants to get past. He knows he can get past, and he just needs to get the move done, and he can't just yet. Interesting thing, guys. Yonder, you mentioned the hard tires feeling better at the end of the stint. The interesting thing here is Billy, although he has one warning, if he's trying to push in order to maybe get an extra point from Mercedes with maybe a fastest lap point, because every point in this championship for the drivers and constructors is critical. If he does push enough to get that point for fastest lap, and he does exceed track limits 2 more times here, Billy, Fire King took the fastest lap. The interesting thing about it is that for Billy's sake, if he picks up a penalty though, and those tires do fall off, and Apara can get by Snipes and maybe pull a gap, that is the only thing that will stop Billy from winning this race. I think Billy will be fine on the tires in terms of them falling off a cliff. He's got the gap.
Yeah. I think Billy would be smart about this. He knows that 25 points is more valuable than trying to get 26 and potentially risking it. So
Well, he's already got 26 in the bag. He needs 27th.
Oh yeah, of course he got pulled, didn't he?
Yep.
Very true.
But yeah,
Drifting by Callum.
He won't want to risk it.
It's looking very likely now that maybe with all the controversy of his win last week and that being stripped away, and then a possible disqualification happened, then was changed, and then now this week he's coming back and pretty much put the title to bed.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I would love to see at the end of the season when he wins the championship, probably next week by the looks of things right now in Saudi Arabia, with the way this is going at the current time and moment. I would love to see for the final race, Billy moved up to Tier 2 and not able to compete in that final Tier 3 race. And I say that with no bias, just because the fact that we have second place up for grabs, and although they have track limit penalties, it's a cracking battle between 4 drivers right here. It would be very interesting if this was for the win right now.
Yeah, I agree. Obviously.
Nothing against Billy, he's put on a great race.
It's like Max Verstappen in F1.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, Apara!
Oh! Well, Sam L currently has the podium then for second place instead of third. He's trying to get by Jakey, and he does. But now Drifting needs to run after this. He has a chance here to get P3.
He just needs these guys to start holding each other up, doing stupid stuff.
And they are. Apara through. Callum on Drifting, though. That's the thing that's going to stop Drifting from maybe getting a potential P3 in this race. The constant DRS swapping here with Callum. The only thing that would help him is if they swap here in perfect circumstances to push along to get up to these guys. But the thing is, that's not happening.
The ironic part of it is that in another league race that he did recently around this very track, he did lose a podium to this very man because of being held up. So Drifting will want to put it right tonight. He's really gonna want to get after him. He's gonna chase.
Yeah, he had an incident, I believe, at the start, if I'm correct, or something like that go wrong. But the thing is, now that Callum is really pushing, Drifting is too, and they've almost caught up to the back of Jakey Boy, who lost DRS. GSR Thrasher gets a penalty. We're about to start the final lap. But the thing that Drifting needs in order to get that podium that you guys keep talking about is the fact that Snipes and Apara right there are still over that 3-second gap. These guys in front on the final lap and heading down the main straight on the final lap need to battle it out really badly here. Here's Snipes about to intercept the place for a second. Billy onto the final lap.
Yeah, Sam really in amongst it. Now on the 16 lap hold hard, Drifting doesn't get by Callum, but he gets by Jakey.
Crucial. Crucial
Yeah.
right there. He still can maybe get snipes,
He can,
but it's a tough task.
he's
needs to
currently
use
3.2 off. Yeah,
Oh.
no, it's not 3. It's fluctuating between 2.9 and 3.2. Billy looking on for that, I'm pretty sure the 9th career win. He's got, yeah,
This man
9th
is
career win. And it's
really not put a thing wrong though, Logan. He's got podiums in the last 5 consecutive races, and this is only going to be his 4th win of those. Every other time he has not won, he's finished 2nd, so he's done quite the job here.
yeah. Who knows though, after Saudi Arabia, well, when we'll ever see him again in this tier. Probably not. Well, coming
No.
around this final corner, Billy's run away, checked out, and he will come home in 1st place, and he will win with a flawless drive and up to the line. Now, Snipes and Apara, Sam gets 2nd, Drifting only gets 5th.
A 10th away from Snipes there at the end, just missed out on 4th place, and also 3/10 off the podium. Dello gets Jakey Boy when it comes to the penalties, and it looks like Fire King has the fastest lap over Zach B. Unless he steals it at the line, he does not.
Yeah, so that's Fire King picking up a point for AlphaTauri.
Well, he's still got another place to maybe pick off here. Oh!
Oh!
He boot him out of the
Oh!
and he lifted up in the air!
Eh.
What is going
Oh,
on?
This
it's
is still
still
not
side
done,
by
guys.
side.
He's not got
This
a
is
win.
going to be a drag race.
Oh!
And Fire King, I think, showing his displeasure there on the main straight. Bumping into the side of him.
Wow.
What race?
Best battle we saw all race.
Well, it involved contact. Well, guys, time for some interviews with the top 3, possibly, if we have time.
Yeah, Thrasher wanted the interviews. However, we will not be giving him one.
That's
He,
true.
He was quite the distance off a podium.
Your podium celebrations underway now. For
A
the
mix
drivers.
of a mix of nationalities. We got an Italian coming 3rd, a 2nd place for the Brit, and then the Ghanaian winning.
So, the Drivers' Championship, I want to say it's above about 30 points or so with the gap now. The Constructors, I don't know what it looks like at the Constructors with the way McLaren finished 4th and 6th in that race. I know Mercedes overtake them, but I don't know by how much.
32, so that'll put Mercedes onto 160. 166? Yeah,
25.
no, 163. And then McLaren
31.
go to, or with an extra 20, go to 255. So there's an 8-point gap between the two. And then in the
Correct.
drivers, Billy outscored Callum by 16 points, so that puts him 32
32.
points ahead with 2 rounds left.
There were your final results, fellas. We only lost 1 runner from this race. Not a bad Tier 3 race in terms of our driving standards. It was great to see, and thank you all for having me. But I also want to mention only 1 safety car too. So, yeah, really clean there with only 1 DNF, and it was a DNF that happened through a retirement on track. It's not
That
like
is,
they crashed into the wall or anything like that. They just gave up. Whoever
That
it
is
was in that
Billy's
Ferrari.
5th win of the season, and that will also be his, I believe, 9th podium of the season. 9th or 8th. So, yeah. And he's only finished, and he's finished 9 of the 10. No, he's
Alright.
got 8.
I will have to go, so good luck with the post-race interviews, guys. But just want to remind people that you still have Tier 2 and Tier 1 in Qatar tomorrow and Tuesday, and you also have Saudi and Abu Dhabi to finish up this Tier 3 season. That should be fun to see. Hopefully I can catch one of those. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for
Ryan.
for commentating. Yeah, that was a race. I'm tired.
That was a race, yeah. I agree.
Cars
Alright,
went
we should
whizzing
probably
through,
invite
through.
these fellas. Who else got a Billy? And
Here's
who
the
else?
cheetah. And here's the other cheetah. Jesus.
Probably just a bunch of cheats.
Yeah.
Mate, I held Callum behind for so long.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
What?
You should have been You should have been disqualified. 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 And you should have been disqualified.
Billy, thoughts on giving owners higher power than founder?
Thought on giving me server ownership.
We'll
Okay.
discuss after. I think we should probably
Discuss
get on to the.
after. Yes.
Is a power joining or not?
Maybe. I'll start with you then.
I've given him an interview.
We'll go. I'll go from winner to Ginger.
Okay.
So, Billy,
No. Halt.
Oh,
We've got our Italian
start from a
stallion
para. Start from a para. Start from the Italian stallion.
Yeah, you
We've
get,
got our
Yeah.
Italian stallion here.
yeah, you
Rocky
get.
Balboa.
You get the Hello, Apara. Apara.
Oh,
Are you there?
that's what that loud noise was. There's a cup that fell off my windowsill onto my bed.
Billy.
Antonio.
I'll shut. Oh yeah.
Right. Apara. Hello.
Antonio, are you there?
Hello,
Hello.
Hello.
how are you?
Good. How about you?
Yes, good, thanks.
Right then. Good return. First podium in quite a while, isn't it? It's not been the season that you've wanted to have. After the first two rounds were so good for you, but
Yes.
again, considering that you've come back and you've got your podium, what are your plans for the last two rounds of the season?
Yes, because for me it's very not a good season because I started with a win in Australia and then a lot of mistakes from me. And now, yes, for now I I take this podium, but I don't know if it will be confirmed because I had a contact with Zach in the first or second lap, I don't remember. But anyway, yes, after a lot of time, is a good performance by me. Today I was a decent quick, not at the level of Billy, but yes, it's good. It's a good race anyway.
Yeah. Talking about, let's move more on to the race. We've got obviously Qatar's a frustrating track. Obviously, you were sat behind Snipes for quite a while, probably longer than you wanted to be. Obviously, you were originally out in front, but were your hard tyres did they die
Yes.
really quickly, or were they just poor?
Yes, I think that the hard tires didn't work very well because in the first stint I was on medium, and also in the final stint of the medium I was faster than Snipes. But I think that the difference was on the fuel because I saw 13 drivers on the grid, and I thought that there was a possibility to not have safety car in this race, and I decided to start with plus 4 laps of fuel. And I think that after safety car, I suffered a lot this decision because maybe the other drivers has slow fuel respect to me, and I think the difference was on the fuel. But anyway, the medium tires was very good. The hard tires, for me, I don't, I didn't have the same pace with the hard. I don't know why. I don't know why. Maybe because I fight a lot with snips. But with medium, yes, I was very quick.
Before the race, how confident were you with fuel, and how much fuel did you actually put in before the race? And did you
Yes,
think with the safety car intervention it saved your race?
uh, yes, because I remember last season in the last race, that I finished the fuel 100 meters before the line, and I decided to start with plus four
Yeah,
fuel, plus
I
four
did.
laps, because I saw that we were only 13 drivers, and for me wasn't, and I thought that maybe safety car maybe could be a race without safety car. And after safety car, yes, I lost this advantage, because maybe other drivers started uh, with the slow fuel respect to me. But anyway, yes, is good race for me. Yes, I repeat, I don't know if the podium will be confirmed, because maybe I will receive a penalty for a contact with Zach. But anyway, yes, was a good race, and it's okay now. After a lot of time, it's a good race.
Yeah, thanks for well, congrats, and yeah, thank you for the bit of insight on the fuel as well, because that way I'm happy that it wasn't only me who overfuels by about 4 laps around this
Yes.
track. It's not the best on fuel. I mean,
No.
it's not the worst track, because Zandvoort I have to overfuel by about 5 or 4.5 laps, which isn't great. Hopefully we can see a return of that one. But I always like the heavy fuel races, because it adds a bit more drama to it. There's more there's more riding on the last lap and stuff like that. Obviously with Billy being here, and he spoils the tier. So yeah.
Excuse me.
Wait, it's not your interview.
Get out! Yeah, so congrats on the podium. Mr. Yonder, do you have any questions for our good friend, Apara?
Well, Zach did send one into the chat. However, it got looked at by the mods, and I think it was not accepted. However, I will present you with my own question. Right. Apara, first of all,
Yes.
can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Have you ever played the game Hungry Hippos?
Sorry, but I didn't understand very well. Can you repeat, please?
No, okay, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
That's it from me, Logan.
Okay.
I was going to
Yeah.
ask you what your favorite color hippo was out of the lot,
My favorite
but
color.
if you've not played the game, then it's quite hard to tell.
My favorite color.
Yeah, go on, yeah. What's your favorite color?
But I don't know. I think papaya as McLaren.
That's a good shout. That's a good shout.
That's a
You've
good
got me and
shout,
Logan on
good
your
shout.
side.
Yes, papaya as McLaren. Okay. Guys, remember, I'm Italian, but I support McLaren. McLaren is my team. I don't support Ferrari.
What we want to hear.
That's
what
what
we
we
wanna
want to
hear.
hear. You got a
Yes.
good choice, good choice.
Yes.
Zach, I'm not asking that.
Why? What's
I'll
John
set.
done?
I'll send it to you. You first. You give Sam the next interview.
Yeah. We'll move on to Ginger then. Oh.
Well done, Apara.
Yeah, well done.
Okay, thank you very much, guys, and congrats to Billy and my teammate.
Thank you very
Sam.
much.
I think
Yeah,
the
well done,
first
Napara.
time, the first time on the podium for now for Aston Martin. Very congrats, guys.
Mm.
Logan, you reckon you could ask that question to Sam?
What?
I can
Yeah,
The
imagine.
question I
Logan.
sent you.
Oh no.
Well, can you get on with
What's
it,
this
please?
be-
Is
What's
that
this
what
be
he-
the worst question ever?
Would you prefer to be by a woman and have her up your or have consensual with a man and he doesn't in your
What the fuck? Me.
He does the second
Can,
one
can we
anyway.
ask actual like questions about the race instead of?
Sam, I'll give you your question first, okay? You know, obviously your move to wheel hasn't been, you were thinking maybe you'd be on the podium, you'd be up with the pace of the leaders pretty quickly. Not been the case, however, in recent weeks you have shown that you maybe are getting up to that caliber. Like, obviously with the wheels, more physical, whatnot. This is me assuming you are using a wheel and that you're not cheating on a pad.
Yes.
He is
But,
a cheater. No, he's a cheater.
But basically,
Cheater number
with
two
the...
of the two
What?
that we got in the party.
Mate,
What's
Logan,
the-
yonder's
Wait,
talking.
Sam.
Shush.
Exactly,
Shut
I'm
up,
talking.
Ginger Gimp. Shush.
Basically, Sam, obviously, wheel is much different to controller. I want you to give a insight to our viewers, what the main difference is. Is it the physicality of it? Because, you're not the strongest character. I'm going to be honest, I've seen it.
Oh God, yeah, you have, haven't you?
Right. yeah, answer it. What's the difference between
Right,
pad and wheel? And what's been, like, the hardest thing to adjust to?
Probably just of how physical and like how you have to.
That is the greatest question ever.
His boyfriend's just coming.
Nate, Logan, shut up.
Let
So,
bro speak.
Oh
yeah,
no.
Obviously have been struggling these past few races, but it is a massive difference. It's a lot more physical, as you said, and I've been struggling. But
Oh my god.
Need to get in the gym.
Okay, shut up.
I've got a question,
where-
Sam.
Come on, lads,
What?
keep it professional. Come on.
From it's Zach. Last one here. Is it true that Sam is the wide receiver from Navek, or is it the other way round and Sam does the bumming?
Can you share
Logan,
some
keep it
insight?
professional.
I'm
you
trying
dirty
to answer
dirty.
the question, but Logan keeps interrupting me. Yeah, it's a lot more physical, and
We'll get
I've
kicked.
obviously been struggling. But yeah,
And another one from myself. That was a good answer to the first one. Really shed some good insight, good light for the people that are definitely still watching. But what's your favorite? How do you know American football, right?
hmm
What's your favorite position on the offense? Is it the running back? Is it the fullback? The
I don't
quarterback?
play.
Or
I don't
is
play.
it? Well, what's the guy that runs and catches? What
Oh,
are they
wide
called?
receiver.
Ah, I see. So
Yous are very
are you a
funny,
wide
you know,
receiver?
Yous are very
No,
funny.
no. Guys. You're making us look bad here. That we're not being very professional from the two
Nobody's
owners
watching.
asking the questions. Let's
Right.
shh.
Nah, right.
Keep it.
Another one from Zach is: would you
Oh my
rather
God.
watch grow, or what would you rather watch grow? A tree or a
No.
tree?
That's racist. That is racist. Logan, I'm taking your owner off you. That's disgusting.
No, that's not from me, and I've got the proof.
I thought these
That's
were
from
questions
Zach.
about the race.
Yeah, I'll
Innit,
give
come
you
on.
one. Okay. So Sam, obviously,
Oh, another one, another
You had
question.
you-
Oh my
Shut
God.
up, Logan.
Aaron Hunt,
You
man.
had
We're
great
from
pace,
Chilham,
Sam.
it's Simple Time.
Logan.
can you give us your
Logan,
overall
shut up.
view on the race? Because
Um,
to be honest, from the outset, you were kind of I think didn't you have to box early and then you were kind of just in no man's land. Safety car brought you back into it.
Yeah.
Give us your
So
perspective.
what happened is I got an all right start, but me and Apara did have contact lap 1, so that did drop me down a few places, and then I hit the back of Snipes, which gave me front wing, so I had to box really quite early on like lap 2. So I was just fighting with like Callum for like a few 10 or 11 laps, and like for some reason he was quite slow today. So we were basically just trading DRS, but yeah, the safety car did help me out quite a lot, which I'm happy. And I just kept it clean the whole race, got no pens, and on track we finished P4, but due to pens we finished P2, and I'm happy that Aston Martin got some good points for the constructors.
Yep, that's all good. And then just to follow up, obviously you're not really in the battle for any sort of big championship spot, unlike some of the other people in the party. As you have transitioned to wheel, that is understandable. But what's your expectations for the last 2 races? Maybe a couple, like 2 podiums. Maybe try and get in the fight for a win. What's the deal?
Obviously, I think everyone wants to try and fight for a win, but I think Billy's like unbelievably fast and should be tier 2. Because but, yeah, obviously I'm going to be trying fighting for podiums, but I'm fine with just some decent points. It's the 2 tracks I'm not really good at, but we'll hopefully go on and Billy will win the next 2.
Thank you for your answers, and that's all the questions from me. Logovich09, what's your bobber yapping about? Anything?
Yeah, well, you've got Meridian asking me a question, but it's not my interview. You've got Zach in my DMs asking me to ask Billy a question about something, but I can't say the words in that because it goes up on YouTube. But Sam, all I'm saying is how are your house keys?
Oh God, yeah. Right.
You might have messed up a little bit.
Where's your house keys? Where's your house keys? Where the fuck are your house keys?
Right.
Odds on we take Logan off comms from now on.
Okay, so thank you, Sam, for your
Wait, hold on. I've got a real question. Yonder, you cannot move anything on when you were asking about the favourite coloured hungry hippo.
Hey, that's a good question.
Right. Honestly though, what was it like to race against the top guys again? I know it's been a while outside the designated top 5 for you, and obviously the changeover, as we've already spoken to you about. But yeah, to see what's that. But yeah, overall, you've done well to adapt to wheel. I wouldn't be surprised if you're back in the fight again next season.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That is disgusting.
Oh no. No.
Mate, Billy, I should just give you questions right now.
No, I've got it. I've got it all over, mate. Don't worry.
I'm about to get fucking slated, but let's go.
So
Right
Sam,
then.
well done.
Here
Well
we
done
are,
on speaking.
The
Well done.
cheating bastard, Billy H07.
Oh, no.
How
Yeah.
are we, mate?
Yeah. So great. I've just been sat here for about 10 minutes. Bored shitless.
You wanna do an apology?
But anyway.
You wanna do an apology?
All right, I'll do an apology.
Right, I'm playing
Straight to
multiplayer.
Callum. I'll do an apology to Callum right now. Right.
Oh no.
Mr. Callum.
The whole McLaren
Fuck the rest of you.
No,
Except
no,
Snipes.
no,
Me and
Billy,
Snipes are getting along.
Billy, I held Callum behind me for like.
That's a disqualification.
Oh,
That's a
yeah.
DSQ. That's a DSQ. That's a disqualification. Sam, that's a. Anyway, I'd like to formally apologise to everyone at McLaren for last week's antics. it has all been dealt with now, and
No, not fairly.
we should be okay now.
What?
And
Do you want
if
this
we're not,
back on his
if you-
old account? What the fuck?
If you've got any problems with me, please bring them up, and I shall talk to you. Love you. Anyway, we get to the actual questions, please. No,
Yeah,
I
I've got a
apologise.
question. So,
Okay.
your idol is Max Verstappen.
Fuck off.
This season, you have been challenging? Or you haven't really been challenging anyone, but you have been channeling
Ooh.
the arts and crafts as Verstappen. You know, I think you barely put a foot wrong really since the first double header. So obviously, I think this is probably one of your most dominant races. So
No,
just take us
no,
through
no,
what it
no,
was
no,
like driving in
no.
cleaner.
Oh, well, right, Logan, do you mind shutting up?
No.
Right, anyway. So,
Singapore.
lap one and...
25
Shut up.
seconds.
Shut up. Lap 1 were pretty fun. And 2. Scrapping with Zach until... Who took Zach out?
13
Who took Zach out?
seconds.
Antonio.
Oh, well, until Zach got absolutely analled, and then I just gapped with Della behind me. But then Della got taken out, which made me really sad. Safety car came out, which
Shame.
kind of made my heart drop a bit, because I was like, oh no, Snipes is behind me. Snipes isn't my biggest fan at the moment, so he might hit me. But he didn't. I had to box early. Went out,
Well, let
went
me
brum
just
brum brum.
interject. But he's your
Yeah.
hubby at the moment. So
He
what's
is my
happened? Is there a
husband.
divorce?
There's no divorce. There's no divorce being talked about yet. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Anyway, back to the race. Sped round. Snipes told me he messed up his restart, which benefited me very much. Kept the gap and won. That's about it. It's a bit
Yippee.
boring up at the front. Oh well, it
Pretty
was
cold.
for that race,
Cold.
but it's fine.
Nah, but to be fair, you know, people hate, you know, winners winning and whatnot.
Yeah.
But
Oh, that
You know, you
bloke!
just
I
got
don't
to
know who
take
that
on the
bloke
swing.
is that took fastest lap off me, but I could have grand slammed. But he took the fastest lap, so. really
grand
sad.
slammed.
Did you lead
That
every
sounds
lap?
like. I usually
think I did.
skip those.
If you led every lap,
and
then
then-
you would have Grand Slam.
Right. And then in terms of the championship, I mean,
Mhm.
I think it's like 30 plus points to Callum now. He's looking
You're not allowed to crown me.
pretty
32
unbeatable
points.
at the moment. First of all, looking back on this season, how do you feel about it? And second of all, how do you feel that you will become second, depending on when you get it done, maybe third, two-time BRL champion?
Well, looking back at the rest of the season, there's been a lot of controversy, a lot of people getting argy-bargy about the shit stuff. Apologies for the swear words, guys. People
We want ad
speaking
revenue
up.
for 25 views.
Yeah, course. People speaking up about shit, and I'm like, okay. I did get my way, which people are seeing as a bit of a
Corrupt!
breach. They are seeing it as corruption, but in my eyes, shut up. In my eyes, what's happened is fair.
Oh,
Shut up, Logan.
got a horrible
Right.
cut.
What's happened has been fair in my eyes, right? I haven't won every race. I haven't gapped everybody every race, but through all the corruption,
Podium.
I've
No,
managed to-
Jesus Christ. 8 of 10
I've managed
races.
to shut up. I've managed to fight the shit that's been happening, especially this Logan kid who's meant to be one of my best
God,
mates,
4
chatting
fifths
shit
of the
about
why-
me this
why
entire
is fighting
season.
Oh
it?
my god.
It's because I don't know. It's always on the back of your mind. But we're good now. Logan has decided to stop being best matey with me for some reason, but it's okay. And that's it about the season. I hope to win it next week, even though I am terrible at Saudi
how will
Arabia.
you feel about becoming a two-time BRL champion? You reckon people may discount it, the championship?
Oh, they might.
They may
but
call it a Camel League or Burger League or Mickey Mouse League.
the thing is, right, my last championship was a bit ooh-ah, right? It didn't feel right. But this one, all the people are going to cry about it. It's felt
Feels
real.
even better.
It's felt actually real this time, and like last time I won a championship, I won by winning one race, and that was the final race. And this time, I've actually
That's your 5th win of
proven
the season.
that I'm quick,
It's dominant. Dominant.
and yeah, I've been trying my hardest, and it's going to be great to be up with the greats like yonder, to be one of them. I wish I could be like yonder.
Well, Logan, what have you got to say to Billy in terms of questions? You can leave anything till after.
I'm going to buckle myself in.
I've been waiting for this whole season, right? All week. Because
Yep,
we've had all the incidents in the admin chat. We've had the
absolutely.
stuff like that.
Mhm.
But we got one thing, and one thing only I need to ask.
Yeah.
And that is Operation Super Duper still happening?
It depends. Thing is, I don't want to go through with next season if there is bad relations with anything that happens.
I'm only bantering.
Especially with the elephant not in the room, but in the tier that might have issues with Operation Super Duper, and also my son who has been a prick. But it's okay.
What's Super Duper? Can you please run
You
through
don't.
it with us?
You're not.
Can you tell
Operation
me
Super
after?
Duper is possibly, but that is Operation Super Duper. We'll see. We'll see.
Okay,
Oh,
and
right then.
if you... Oh, okay, you take it away then.
I want you to answer Zach's question as well. I'm going to
Right,
send
yep.
it to you. I'm going to send it to you on Discord DMs.
Can you send it to
And
me
do
so I
not
can see what is
read it
the
out
context?
loud. Otherwise, we will be demonetized on YouTube, whether we have a chance of monetization or anything.
Right, I'm not allowed to read out the question, but do
You're
you want me
not
to just
allowed to
answer it?
read out the question because it has one certain R word in it.
Oh. Would
What,
you
red?
prefer to be and have a or have
Yeah,
Uh,
censor yourself.
or have consensual with a bloke?
Oh, it's that
and
one.
He doesn't in your Probably the first one. That's less gay. Like, no offense to the gays, but I ain't down with that.
Basically the same thing.
But it's a bit less
Right.
of the same thing with
What?
the first one.
Basically the same thing.
Yeah,
Anyway,
so
How does the second one work?
I've been your host, Logic09. Tonight, alongside me, we've had the best version of Ted Kravitz in DSM Yonder.
They
and,
just put it in it.
And Ryan
Shut
Ocon
up.
31, aka the best commentator this league
The
will
GOAT.
probably ever see. So yeah, we'll see you later. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
And